It takes a cop from the future to fight an enemy from the past. Kung Fury is directed by David Sandberg, and it's also written by David Sandberg. David Sandberg also stars in the film as Kung Fury, and it's narrated by Adrian Capian, who did a little bit of the narration in the trailer. And it started out a little bit as a trailer, which is a work they were working on the project. It's a project that David Sandberg had been working on for a long time. He started working on this project of Kung Fury in 2012, and he got some kickstarting backing for it through a Kickstarter campaign, and made about 600 grand that he was able to put into the film. And yeah, it's awesome. I mean, the more of the cast and crew we have here, we have David Sandberg, who plays Kung Fury, Jorma Taccone is Adolf Hitler, aka Kung Fuhrer, Stephen Chu as Dragon, Kung Fury's partner in the beginning of the film, Leopold Nilsson as Hacker Man, Andreas Cahling as Thor, voiced by Per-Henrik Arvidius, Erik Hornqvist as Triceracop, voiced by Frank Sanderson, Per-Henrik Arvidius as Chief, Eleni Young as Barbariana, Helene Ahlson as Katana, voiced by Yasima Sunohin. Excuse me, I'm having a hard time pronouncing these Swedish names. Eos Carlson as the Red Ninja, Magnus Better as Colonel Reistash, Bjorn Gustafsson as Private Lamstash, David Hasselhoff as the voice of the Hoff 9000, Frank Sanderson as Cobra / Dynamite, and Adrian Caprian as the narrator for the movie's trailer. And there's a trailer that came out before the movie was just aired recently, and it also had a music video that also had this really awesome song by David Hasselhoff called True Survivor. That's the cast and crew. And also, I'd be remiss if I forgot to mention the guys who did the score for this film. Mitch Murder and Lost Years, who did this really awesome 80s synth score for the movie. It's also edited by Nils Molstrom, who I think did an amazing job. Cinematography by Jonas Ernhill, Martin Gardanum, and Matthias Anderson, who all did a great job with the cinematography. And it's produced by it's Louis Linus Anderson and Eleni Young. But yeah, it's a creation of a fan of the 80s, David Sandberg. And yeah, that's the cast and crew. In 1985, Miami-Dade Police Department detective Kung Fury and his partner Dragon apprehend a red ninja in a back alley, but Dragon is sliced in half by the ninja while Kung Fury is suddenly struck by lightning and bitten by a cobra, giving him extraordinary kung fu powers that enable him to defeat his foe. The day after defeating a rogue arcade machine robot, Kung Fury quits the force when he is assigned to partner with Triceracop, fearing that he would lose another partner in the line of duty. Meanwhile, Adolf Hitler, aka Kung Fuhrer, enters the timeline and remotely guns down the police chief and attacks the precinct through a mobile phone. Intent to avenge his chief, Kung Fury has computer whiz Hacker Man hack him back into Nazi Germany to kill Hitler. And that's as far as I'm going to go. I don't want to give very much else away, and when it comes to the plot synopsis, and so if you haven't seen the film, check it out. I do talk about it more in depth in my pros and cons section of this review, so probably don't watch that part until you watch the movie, and please, if you haven't seen Kung Fury yet, to quote the immortal Arnold Schwarzenegger, to quote Dutch Schaefer from Predator, do it! Do it now! Come on, do it! Come on, do it! What are you waiting for? Do it! Do it now! This whole fucking movie is one giant pro. I really loved this flick. I enjoyed it. I thought it was immensely entertaining. I thought it captured the spirit of the 80s perfectly and also brought its own sort of new thing to it. It took the ridiculous plots of some of the 80s action movies like Miami Connection and so forth and just took it beyond 11. It said, "Oh, you turned the dial all the way up to 11. We're gonna break the fucking knob off." And I loved it. I thought that was great. I didn't think it tried too hard. In my opinion, I think Kung Fury can try even harder if it wants to. It can break the knob off. It can break the other knobs off. It can go even further for all I care, because I love this type of movie. I love a movie that's balls to the wall, insane, and full of violence and action and just fun. And that's exactly what I thought Kung Fury was. One giant pro for it for me is that it was just immensely entertaining. It was one of the most fun I've ever had seeing a movie, period. And it's only a short film, I know, but it was the most fun I've had watching a movie this year and in a long, long time. So, yeah, huge pro, immensely entertaining film. The score by Mitch Murder and The Lost Years is awesome. So awesome that I bought it after I saw the movie. After I saw Kung Fury for the first time, I'm like, I'm going to support the film and the soundtrack and the guys who did the soundtrack, and I'm going to buy the soundtrack. And that's what I did. I bought it off Amazon Digital. And I have it on my computer right now, and it's awesome. And the song by David Hasselhoff is awesome too. True Survivor is the best thing David Hasselhoff has ever done. Fuck Baywatch. Not the biggest fan of Knight Rider. Most of his movies suck. This song is the best thing he's ever done. And the music video is really good too. You know, we need some action if we're gonna make it like a true survivor. Action if we're gonna get out of here. Or something like, if our love's gonna make it out of here. If our love's gonna make it out of here. We need some action. Dun, 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 dun. It's just an awesome song. It's totally a throwback to a lot of those AOR songs that I just love for so many 80s soundtracks. The soundtrack of Mitch Murder and Lost Years is also really good too. It fits the film perfectly. It's totally a throwback to the 80s, and I love that style of music, that 80s synth music. I'm really glad that that's made a comeback with bands like Lost Years, with artists like Mitch Murder who worked on this film, and with other bands like Dynatron who did in Cold in July, let the film use some of their music in the soundtrack, especially their song Cosmo Black, and Laserhawk, who I love. I love Laserhawk. Laserhawk is awesome. So I'm really glad that that's making a comeback. And I didn't think that the spirit of the 80s that this film captured was artificial. I know some people felt it was. I didn't think it was at all. I thought there was definitely a really big beating heart behind this that was genuine. I didn't think it was fake. I didn't feel fake at all to me. It showed through the film that the makers of this movie loved the 80s and loved how awesome a lot of these 80s action movies were, and wanted to do their own take on it and do a homage of those awesome, crazy, insane 80s action movies, and then take it even further, which is great. Isn't that what's supposed to happen? I mean, you're not gonna just leave it. If one 80s movie took it to 11, you're supposed to just leave it there? Any other movie can't go any further? No! Go further! Go even further! Have fucking laser raptors and time travel and a side-scrolling beat-em-up action sequence with Mortal Kombat fatalities. I mean, yes, keep doing more of that. I want more of side-scrolling action sequences of Mortal Kombat fatalities. I want more of that, not less. The film was awesome, and it could have been even more awesome if it just even more crazy and even more over the top, and it was longer. And it was an hour. It was a feature-length movie. I can't wait to see what these guys come up with. It's an insane bit of brilliance. It really is. Um, I like that. Another pro I thought about that the film had was a sense of humor. I like the fact that it played it straight, that it was this dry sense of humor. I thought that was really in the film's favor, uh, especially in the scene where Kung Fury's in the animated world, and he's talking to the Cobra, and and this is the whole scene where he's talking to the Cobra, and he's like, "Who the hell are you? My name is Cobra. I've been expecting you, Kung Fury. I'm a spirit animal. What the hell is this place? This is heaven. I'm afraid you're dead. What? But it looks so real. Yeah, no, it's totally real. Mr. Cobra, I'm a police officer. I need you to send me back to Earth. Pronto. I'm sorry. I can't help you with that. You see, you're dead. You're under arrest! What? For obstruction of justice! You're breaking the law! So then he goes in and jumps towards the Cobra and gives him a flying kick. That was just hilarious. I love that. And then there's fun. The one-liners are bad on purpose, like "Thank you" or "Knock knock knock knock." Who's there? Knuckle. And then another one where this one was pretty good. Where he's like, "You don't need that spine. It's holding you back." So there's just a lot of fun stuff like that. Beats up the arcade machine that came to life and started flipping people off, including dogs, and shooting people's heads off. Shoots it in the disables it. Game over. So I just love that. It was just totally David Sandberg did a great job performance wise. I thought did a good job too with the martial arts moves, and just had a great deadpan. I love deadpan humor, and this is definitely a lot of deadpan humor that was great. Triceracop, I love Triceracop. I thought the CGI they did of Triceracop was actually pretty good, especially on the head. And I just love the scene, which is straight out of RoboCop, totally a homage to RoboCop, where he just shoots all these Nazis in the balls, just blam 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 blam, nut shot after nut shot after nut shot. And then you have one of the Nazis like covering up his balls, like no, 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 and then just shoots him in the shoulder, and then shoots him in the balls. Oh man, that's so awesome. Then you have a talking dinosaur at the end. There's like, teamwork is very important. It's just a totally insane movie. It's balls to the wall craziness, and I just fucking love it, man. I love every minute of Kung Fury. Like I said, the whole movie's a pro. Visual effects were really good for what they had with the budget, 600 grand. I know some people were thinking, if I was gonna make an 80s tribute, it would all be practical, no CGI, and I'm like, there was some really good practical, like when Kung Fury's partner gets cut in half, and you see him just from the side here, it gets split in half, and then you even see like his tongue flopping around. It's a great practical effect. And there's a little bit of practical effects here and there, but some of the stuff they didn't have. You understand, practical effects are actually a lot more expensive nowadays than they used to be in the 80s, especially if you're doing a full animatronic outfit for like a Triceratops outfit, or you're doing a full animatronic dinosaur or raptor. They don't have the budget for that. They really don't. So, and I was okay with the CGI they used because it just made it so they could just do even more craziness. They could just do a ton of just absolutely insane, coked up, just unbelievably crazy stuff that they wouldn't be able to do if they just tried to do everything in practical. So I'm okay with that. I mean, so I was perfectly fine with that. It didn't bother me, and I thought it actually was pretty good. I didn't think it was Asylum bad. I've seen some reviews. People have said it looks like Asylum bad effects. I don't know, not even close. I'm sorry, no. And if it was done on purpose. The effects were supposed to not look super polished. The effects weren't supposed to look amazing, but for the most part they did. But the effects did have a sort of look to them that made it look cheap, but that was the point. Because the movie itself is a homage to these cheap, low-budget 80s action movies. And I was fine with that. In a way, it's kind of like Flash Gordon, the 1980 film, which was a tribute to those Flash Gordon serials, and was corny. It had bad effects, but it was that way on purpose. And so it was another case here with Kung Fury. I like the other characters in the film: Triceracop, the dinosaur, Thor. I like Barbariana. I think she's hot. I think I have a new crush. I really do. And she's got the minigun and everything. And even the guy who played Hitler, Like, Hitler in this was having a blast. Like, his reaction after he supposedly thought he killed Kung Fury was exactly my reaction to the whole movie. It's just, yes, Kung Fury. That's just my reaction. I mean, after I watched it again recently today, I was like, yeah! It's totally just the type of movie that is right up my alley and I love. Um, I thought the writing was pretty clever. I thought for the most part it was actually really good for what it was. The whole stuff with Hacker Man I thought was brilliant. He turns into a fucking robot. Yeah, that's awesome. He hacks through time. That's really cool. I didn't feel that this movie was just a rip-off of other 80s movies. It was took its in a different direction. It was a nice homage to those films, but then it also did stuff that you had never seen before. There, Kung Fury is unique. That's another thing I really love about it. That's a huge pro for me. It's a unique film. Yes, it borrows some elements of things that have been done before, but it puts a unique enough spin on these old ideas that it becomes its own film, that it becomes something that's entirely its own. There isn't another film like it, folks. Kung Fury is Kung Fury. There's nothing else like Kung Fury. And I know people are saying like season 2 of Danger 5, which I saw some clips of, and I'm sorry, that's no Kung Fury. This is just at least how I look at it anyway. But people say like, oh, it's useless, it's kind of pointless. All these other 80s movies were ridiculous. Like, what's the point of this movie? What's the point of this movie? The point of this movie is to entertain the hell out of you with some awesome fucking shit. That's the point of it. To go beyond, to go over the top, to go over the top, to go beyond over the top, to go over the top of the over the top. That's the point of the film. And since it's kind of a fantasy and it takes place in its own world, that works. With something like Fury 7, it's not really supposed to be a fantasy world, and so then you have this really crazy shit, and you're like, ah, that's ridiculous. Here it's like, this is just awesome. This is face-meltingly awesome. And that's because it creates its own world where this stuff isn't that out of character, where this kind of insanity isn't something that is off kilter or strange or uncalled for or weird. It feels like it's just a normal thing that would happen in this crazy ass world, and it's great for that. I love the fact that it went even further with everything. And none of these other 80s movies, I've seen Miami Connection, I've seen a lot of these old 80s action movies, direct-to-video action movies with low budgets. They didn't have a Triceracop in it. They didn't have laser raptors. I love that laser raptor scene. It's like, fuck, laser raptor, a laser raptor. I thought those things went extinct. That's the kind of thing that it's. I guess it's a film that's not for everybody, but I love the hell out of it. And if you're a fan of this type of over-the-top, crazy action movie with just babes with guns, blood, violence, video game fatalities, uh, and the like, you're gonna really enjoy this film. If you're not, well, if you never were the biggest fan of the movie type of film like this, it just goes beyond, above and beyond, and goes beyond 11 with its insanity and its craziness, then you're probably not gonna like the film. But yeah, I could go on and on in this movie's pros, but there's probably some stuff I missed. But I encourage you to strongly suggest to see the movie. If you haven't seen it already, and if you have, watch it again. Because anything that I'm gonna really say about a pro, I mean, it's the movie itself. It speaks for itself. You got to see it to really experience it and to really appreciate the film. And I think it's one of those movies that, as critics, it's really easy for us critics to just analyze this film overboard, to analyze this film to death. And please don't. Just sit back and enjoy this movie for what it is. It's a popcorn flick. It's not meant to change your life. It's not meant to have some message behind it. It's just a fun, over-the-top, crazy, coked up, insane fever dream and tribute to the awesomeness of the 1980s. That's what it is. And I love it. I love it. I really do. Um, but yeah, if I don't mention any more pros, I'd just definitely say the action. Some of the best action I've seen in a film in a long time. The side-scrolling beat 'em up sequence was something that was not only original and inventive, but also something that was just straight up badass. And even before that, Kung Fury has a moment that I've always been waiting to see in an 80s action movie, where he walks up to one of these Nazis and he rips his arm. He says, "You're disarmed," and then rips his arm off, beats him in the face with it. Then he turns it into a freaking helicopter, and then flies around and shoots more Nazis. They're not zombies, but that would make it even more crazy. Uh, but yeah, this is everything that that movie Iron Sky wanted to be, but failed. And yeah, it was a dream come true to me. It's like this movie spoke to me personally, and to people like me who love this type of 80s over the top action. Cons? What cons? It's Kung fucking Fury. There's no cons in this movie. The whole movie is awesome. The whole movie is in a league of its own. It's in a badass Uber league all its own. And I really don't have very many cons, if any. I really don't. There was a joke, a Viagra joke that I liked it. It was funny. That the police captain made, but Viagra didn't exist in the 80s. But I don't think this said it took place in 85, but I think it's like an alternate 1985, or it's like this kind of pseudo 1985. And I didn't mind. There's a lot of stuff that there weren't very many cons. The only con I could think of is that there's not more Kung Fury. That's the biggest con for me. What the world needs now is more Kung Fury. And I hope we do see more Kung Fury in the future. Because I can't think of any fucking cons, really. That was cliffhanger ending, where he's in a fight with Hitler, but doesn't really happen. But that doesn't bug me that much, because I know it's a short film. So I'm okay with the way it ended, and I can't think of any. I really can't. I really, for a fan film, that's really impressive. For a fan-backed movie, for a short film, that's really impressive. That I honestly can't think of any cons. But that's just me personally. I know a lot of people find it to be heavy-handed or not funny or just not very good or overrated, and to each their own. But I loved it. I don't really find very many cons or very much wrong with it. A final verdict? I mean, for a film that is everything that I could have possibly asked for and then some, it's a movie I've been looking forward to ever since I heard it was being made. I love the trailer, and I thought it was a film that really worked. I thought it was a short film that expanded upon the trailer and gave you even more craziness, even more psychotic, amazing sequences of just carnage, destruction, and faces people getting turned into meat pudding with machine guns, lightning bolts. I love the visual effects. I really love how it looks. It looks like it's a film that could be from the 80s. At least some of it anyway. Some of it is CGI, so you could kind of tell that. But some of the effects, like the time portals, look like stuff you'd see straight out of My Science Project or Howard the Duck with practical animation effects, which I really like that. You had the animated sequence, which would look like an animated cartoon from the 80s. Even before that, it looked like a toy commercial from the 80s. You even had like a little commercial for the film. Uh, in the film, like it was a commercial for the cellular phone, which is totally something you'd see in the 80s and something that you'd see in in a film like RoboCop. He even had the brick phone, and the whole scene where Hitler shoots through the phone is really awesome. I'm just mentioning more awesome shit because I forgot to mention some of that in my pros, and this movie's awesome. It's fucking awesome. My reaction to this movie is fucking A, man. Holy shit. Fuck yeah. That's totally my reaction of, to Kung Fury. And if it was rated out of 5 stars, I don't know. 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, 2 thumbs up. Nothing less than that for a movie that is my favorite film of the year right now. And I think it's a movie that's going to be hard for Hollywood to top. I feel sorry for any film that comes after this. They don't stand a chance. What film is going to top this? What film is going to top a Triceratops shooting people in the balls, Hitler getting punched in the nuts, having all of this craziness of dinosaur eagle slap fight, which is hilarious? It's going to top Hacker Man, hacking through time, laser raptors, fucking laser raptors, Barbariana with a fucking minigun, a giant Thor with a hammer, a side-scrolling beat-em-up action sequence that you have to see to believe, with heads getting kicked off, people getting busted in two, guy getting given the splits literally, and then getting kicked in the head. Just so many awesome scenes in this film. A fight with a sentient fucking arcade machine that told some people to fuck off, like Maximum Overdrive. And this movie it's Maximum Overdrive, but it's like it's overdrive. It's Maximum Ultra Drive or Maximum Uber Drive. I can't wait for more of this. I can't wait for more from David Sandberg. Can't wait to see Kung Fury the motion picture or Kung Fury 2. And like I said, I don't think it's gonna be hard to top this. And I'm gonna see Fury Road pretty soon. And I don't know. I'm gonna probably like it, but I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna top Kung Fury, because the only thing that's gonna top Kung Fury is Kung Fury 2 or Kung Fury the movie. That's the only thing that's gonna top this movie for me, because this movie just screamed epic, badass awesomeness to the nth degree. And it's a movie that, if you haven't seen it yet, you should check it out. And if you're not a fan of it, to each their own. But it's a movie that I will continue to cherish and love for years to come. And I gotta give a huge thanks to the creators of the film, to the backers of the movie, to David Sandberg and everybody else who created such an amazing fucking movie. To David Sandberg, not Sandberg, because if I said the wrong thing, it's not Andy Sandberg. It's better than anything he's ever done. Um, it's just the film. It felt like a movie, and it was a short film, and it just, the whole experience felt like you just saw a feature film. And I can't give enough kudos to this film. If I sound like I'm rambling, I'm sorry. It's just, I just really love this movie. And I still have a hard time wrapping my brain around the sheer, just holy amazeballs-ness of this movie. But anyway, thank you for watching my review of Kung Fury, and I will see you guys later. See ya.